What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you all tonight? And welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Views. I am your host, Nick Smith, of course, and I just got back from my second viewing of Jurassic World. Now, Jurassic World actually started in my theater tonight, but I wanted to see it again so much that I couldn't wait till Saturday. I said, you know what? Screw it. It starts at 9:20. My friends that I went with left. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it again. This is the first time I have ever done anything like that, guys. I am so glad that I did it. So yes, Jurassic World is the sequel to Jurassic Park 3. It is not directed by Steven Spielberg, but he did have some help in this. And you can clearly tell in this movie. So, okay. Jurassic World is the story of the theme park, Jurassic World, of course, being open. They get so many visitors a day, and they make new attractions every year. And the thing is, they based this film on the fact that, like, we as a species get bored so quickly that we need to be surprised every time. So, the board members decided, okay, you know what, this isn't working. We're going to do genetic splicing. Hence, they create the ominous Rex. This creature is such an awesome villain. Oh my gosh. This creature is such an awesome villain. Like, when they first start talking about it, you see, like, they start building the tension on how scary and evil this thing is. So, and like, I'm gonna give like maybe one or two spoilers, so be warned, but I'm not gonna spoil the whole movie. I'm gonna talk about my favorite scenes and my least favorite scenes. But before that, so we find out that Jurassic World was created by not John Hammond, but this other guy who John Hammond hired to make his dream come true. So, he wants a new dinosaur. So, they combined the DNA of a raptor, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, a cuttlefish, a snake, a lizard, and an iguana. They combined all this DNA into one thing. And right when they're starting to look for it, they notice some things are up. Like, it's like, well, where's the sibling? It had a sibling. What happened? She ate it. Right there, they just start building on how terrifying this thing is. They look and see that it tried to break through the glass. And they can see it, but they notice, like, the guy's like, why is it white? I don't understand. Why is this thing white? And so then he talks about the guy who is played brilliantly. And I'm just going to say, Chris Pratt, amazing in this movie. He is the best thing about this movie. I'm just going to tell you right there. He was not just good in Guardians of the Galaxy. In this, he is just as good. This is a good movie. He is great in this movie. He really loves this character, and he just has fun with this character. So Chris Pratt plays this former Navy person, a former Navy SEAL, my bad. He plays a former Navy SEAL who is, he's a former person from the Navy that is working with the Raptors. Now, guys, the Raptor thing works good. And now a lot of people are complaining about it, like, how do you control a raptor? And here's what they do. They explain it really well. The reason why the raptors in this movie are kind of tame is because of what John Hammond did in the first film. Chris Pratt in the movie says, I imprinted on every single one of these dinosaurs. So what that means is he did the same thing that John Hammond did in the first movie when the little raptor gave birth, when the little raptor popped out of its egg, he was the first one to hold it. They don't show us this, but you know what it means. He was there when the raptors were born. He was the first one to have contact with them. He was the first person that they touched. So that's why there's a respect, and he treats them with respect. And so, like, it's not like this. It's not stupid. It's really not. It's done really well, and it's done so well that the Raptors even somewhat become characters themselves. It's really cool. My favorite part, I was so impressed when they showed the Mosasaur scene. Oh my gosh, it was a dream come true. Ever since I watched gameplay of the Jurassic Park video game, that was made by Telltale, I have always wanted to see an underwater thing with Jurassic Park, because I am such a fan of Jurassic Park. The first movie scared me to tears. When I was sitting in the movie theater, I was sitting there with my friends, and I was like, oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. We only got one movie trailer, it was for Ted 2, and then the Universal sign came up, and I was like, here we go. I've been saying to my friends all week, I've been like, guys, only a couple more days until the park is open. I am going to the park, baby! And it was just so good to see it. This was my first time ever watching Jurassic Park in the movie theater. My parents wouldn't let me watch Jurassic Park 3 when it came out in theaters. Jurassic Park was already on video when I was born, I think. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, just really, really good. A really fun time. And so, like, the girl who plays Claire, who is one of the main chauffeurs of the park, she goes to Chris Pratt and she's basically like, look, we need you to take a look at this new padding that we've made. And he talks about how you just went and made a new dinosaur. It's probably not a good idea. And he doesn't understand, like, why the board wants to make something new and incredible. He's like, they're dinosaurs. That should be impressive enough. And so he looks at the padding and he's like, has this thing been in this all its life? Yep. No contact? No. Is there a problem? And he's like, this is really dangerous, because he talks about how animals who live in habitats all their life, that's all they know, and they can be really unresponsive. So, and then also he takes a look that there's claw marks on the wall, and he's like, this is the only thing she knows. She will attack anything that moves, because she has not had any physical contact or anything else with anything else. And Claire's like, well, okay, well, you tamed the raptors. She's like, there's a difference. They have siblings. They learned they learned social skills. And he talks about how what they've done is extremely dangerous. And it's just he's such a good written character. But we see in this movie, we see how smart this thing is. Because when they go, like, when they're looking for it, because, like, when she's wanting Chris Pratt to take a look at it, they can't find it. So they call the control room, and it's like, please, they start freaking out because they can't find the dinosaur. So they call the main desk, and she's like, check to see if you can find it on the island. And he's like, it's in the cage. What? No. That's not possible. He's like, look, Claire, it's in the cage. And then we see the dinosaur do its camouflage thing. And oh my gosh, it's so perfect. Ugh. And so this really boosts up the danger. There are some other really good scenes. Now, there are some plot holes that go absolutely nowhere and that make absolutely no sense. There's a lot of characters that there are a lot of characters. There's only a couple that you care about, and a lot of other characters you don't really care for. Now, one of the things that actually doesn't make any sense Crap, I forgot. Okay, well, you know what? It'll come back. My favorite scene in this whole movie is when they decide to close down the park. They decide to close a part of the park. And the two kids, which are named Gray and Zach. And Zach is I'm guessing that he was supposed to be one of those people that are not easily impressed. You know, he's got his head in his cell phone all the time with his girlfriend and everything like that. So, yeah. But now, one of the things that was kind of disappointing is there's a lot of backstory with the two kids and the husband and the wife, their parents, that goes absolutely nowhere, and it should have been either been built on more or just left out completely. And what I mean by that is, when they're on when the two brothers are on a monorail going to another part of the park, the brother keeps trying to hit on other girls, and he has a girlfriend. And so, like, the Gray starts crying, and he's like, Mom and Dad are going to get a divorce. And, you know, they talk about how smart the kid is. And now, they should have done more with the whole parents getting divorced thing. You know, because it was written into the story, but, like, we get a glimpse of, like, the parents aren't getting along because, like, when the two kids go off, the dad's like, well, so much for a family breakfast. And the mom just looks like she's irritated. And so, I personally kind of feel like they should have either done more with that or just left it out completely. Now, okay. But anyways, back to my favorite part of this movie. The kids are attacked by the ominous Rex. And they jump off a waterfall. They jump off a cliff into the river near the waterfall. They end up finding the old park. And it's like, my friends and I were sitting in the movie theater, I was like, they found the old park. So I started to estimate, okay, if this is the old park, then they must have built the new one on the part of the island they never used. They do show a lot of scenes with the old park, and I liked it. I really did. Especially like when the two brothers are in this car place where like there's two spare Jeeps. They find the night vision goggles, and I seen this. I was like, oh my gosh, those are Tim's night vision goggles. Ugh. Now another thing. Okay, now here's one part of the movie where I call bull crap. Because they're trying to basically make it back to the park. They talk about like how they rebuilt a car, or they were able to start up an old car. So they're able to start up a car that hasn't ran for at least 20 years. And you know, and just bear with me. Think about this. And the old island, or the old part of the island that hasn't been touched, has not been touched since the original movie. The other park is on the other side of the island. This part of the park has trees, has moss, has mold, has a lot of things in it around the vehicle, and even on top of the vehicle. I'm gonna call bullcrap that they can start a car that hasn't even ran for years, and that's just been sitting there collecting dust, and also having nature basically take the thing over. I mean, it's not badly. It just looks too old to even be used. It looks like one of those things that you can't use again. It's too old to use. It's sat there and rot. And I just called bullcrap. Another thing that ticked me off, and like actually, this is like where I was like, okay, I'm about done. They talked like how they've done more than one gene splicing before, and the anonymous Rex runs in the pterodactyl area, and a lot of the pterodactyls are spliced pterodactyls with other spliced dinosaurs. And one of them had a T-Rex head, and I was like, really? Come on. Now, one thing that actually did kind of make me mad is there is a little bit too much CG. Steven Spielberg used a lot of animatronics, even with close-up shots. But they tried to explain why the dinosaurs look like this. Because, like, when the main guy is talking to Dr. Wu, who does return, he's talking about, like, how the Onimus Rex and stuff like that, and he's like, you didn't want reality. You just wanted bigger and badder and more teeth. So there is a lot of detail with the dinosaurs. However, I think there's a little bit too much detail and a little bit too much CGI because sometimes the dinosaurs look fake. But there are times when it looks like it's real. But they do explain that, or at least the way how I seen it, they were saying, you didn't want reality. We didn't go into full detail like how we did with the original park. You just wanted something bigger and badder and with more teeth. That's all you wanted. And so, and throughout the whole entire film, there's this guy who's talking with Chris Pratt about like how because Chris Pratt has been working with the Raptors, he's wanting to do a field test with the Raptors and have them basically be trained to go over to Iraq and with the war and stuff like that. And so when things all start going to heck, he eventually does get what he wants. A field test. He gets what he wants. And it comes back to bite him in the butt because a raptor eats him. And I just prayed to God. I was like... Now, the best scene in the whole movie is the end. The last 30 minutes is... Oh, I'm not kidding. So like when the Onimus Rex is tearing everything up, the Claire's like, open up padlock 9, and this guy's like, what? Okay, he opens it up, and it's the T-Rex! It's the T-Rex! Ah! I'm not kidding. Okay, so they showed the T-Rex earlier because they were doing a feeding thing, and the T-Rex doesn't show up for the rest of the movie, and I was kind of disappointed about that, but heck, they saved the best part for last, because, guys, we get a fight between the T-Rex and the Onimus Rex, and it's so much better than the fight with the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3! It lasts for more than a couple seconds, it's at least 2 to 3 to 4 minutes. Oh, it was perfect. Oh, it was so perfect. Oh, gosh. So, everyone that's on the island eventually gets rescued, and Chris Pratt and the girl, everyone eventually leaves the island, and we get a final shot of the T-Rex standing alone on the island, and she roars to seal the deal that she is the baddest thing on that island. Not some cheap combination. Not some cheap Frankenstein thing. She's the real thing. Guys, I'm gonna give this movie a B. Even though there are some things in the movie I did not like, still, I had a fun time with this movie. I strongly recommend you guys go watch it. If you're a fan of Jurassic Park, you will love it. As a film, it's good. It's not great. It's good. I'm still going to give it a B. Well, guys, thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch my videos. I really thank you for it. My channel grows thanks to you. Put in the comments below, what did you think of Jurassic World? I really want to know. I love this. I am a fan. I mean, hello. I have the Jurassic Park t-shirt, and I bought the Jurassic Park soundtrack. I'm a fan. Guys, I hope you are having a good night. Like I said, put in the comments below, share my channel, subscribe, hit that like button. Unless you're upside down, then it's this one. Guys, have a good night.